everybody, it's Catherine with Free Tours by Foot. Today we're going to take a quick walk around the Hudson Yards, so let's get started. So we are going to enter the Hudson Yards today, right from the High Line. So walking in here, you can actually see this official sign saying you're leaving the High Line Park and you're entering the Hudson Yards. So the first thing I want to show you is this building right here, like immediately as soon as you come in to the Hudson Yards. So this is called the Shed, and this is a brand new multi-purpose performing arts center. So a lot of performing arts venues in New York are generally pretty specific. They're either a concert hall or they're a theater meant for plays or musicals, or they're an opera house. So the Shed is unique in that it was really designed to accommodate really any kind of arts discipline, which is very cool and a nice addition to this area. It certainly wasn't anything like this over here before. Another really unique thing about this building, so you can see right here as I'm walking up, this giant wheel looking thing. So this building has something that's pretty unique for a performing arts venue, and that's that this entire shell is actually retractable and can be rolled backwards and forwards. So it's pretty common for performing arts venues to have like flexible seating arrangements so they can accommodate different numbers of people inside. This building can actually change size, which is pretty different. It can actually double its own footprint. You can see a little bit of the inside here. They are setting up for something in here. Another look at, so here's for scale, these wheels to do the retractable shell of the Shed are a little bit taller than I am. So here's the front of the Shed here. So definitely very, very cool. And the building itself has an interesting design. So if you are looking for something to come see performance-wise, I would say definitely check out and see what's on at the Shed. Another must-see here in the Hudson Yards is this beautiful structure right here. This is called the Vessel. We'll look at it from a couple different angles. This was designed by Thomas Heatherwick, and this is a permanent structure. It is made up of, I think, over 150 interconnected staircases. If you were to walk all of the steps, I think there's well over 2,000 steps. So you'll definitely get a workout in if you decide to do that. This is open to the public, but you do have to have a ticket to go to the Vessel. So you don't have to like make a reservation. I'll go show you a place you can do that in just a minute. But the idea is that you can experience the city from multiple vantage points and multiple angles. And so it's not meant for you to just like go and like zoom in all over the stairs and try to do as many stairs as possible in a short amount of time. It's meant for you to stop and take a picture and look and enjoy the view from one angle and then from another. But definitely has been a big draw since opening up. It was closed to the public very, very briefly, but actually just reopened. So something to come and check out. You can see people waiting outside right now. You can take a little walk around the Vessel because I do want to show you from the other side. That way I can also show you the farmers market that's going on. This is the great thing about New York City, especially at this time of year. There's almost always something going on outdoors, something different that'll be set up from day to day. And this really looks like a nice farmers market. You have a little bit of green space over here. Walk around, be able to show you the Vessel from the other side. And be able to get a nice view of the Hudson as well. You'll be able to see out over the High Line. So the Hudson Yards development here, this is all built out over the old rail yards here on the west side. If anybody has taken our High Line walk, then you know that this area used to be really the site of a lot of the train traffic here in Manhattan, and the rail yards were here on the west side. And of course, a lot of them went out of use. There is still a train yard up here. I'll be able to show you the trains in just a second. And there they are. All of those things down there are all trains. So there is still a rail yard here. They were able to build the Hudson Yards over the top of some of these rail yards.
So if you're enjoying the tour so far, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps others discover the video. If you'd like to see more like this one, subscribe to our channel. We have walks across the Brooklyn Bridge, through Harlem, Central Park, all over New York. Visit our website for more about our tours, our travel tips, and more. We also have virtual tours and channels that focus on Washington, D.C., New Orleans, London, and more. Look for free tours by foot wherever you travel. You can support your guide with virtual tips, links in the description. And let us know what else you want to see. Leave a comment below. Now, back to the tour.
And prior to the Hudson Yards development, there were actually a lot of different ideas for what could potentially go here. One of the ideas that tended to get traction from time to time was a stadium, specifically a football stadium. If you are familiar with New York sports teams, you know we actually have two football teams, the New York Jets and the New York Giants, neither of whom actually play in New York City. The football stadium is in New Jersey. And so there were people that from time to time said, you know, we really should have a football stadium in New York. And this was one of the proposed sites. That was proposed actually several times. It just never happened, and we ended up with the Hudson Yards instead. The Hudson Yards, this development, a couple of things to know. First of all, largest private development undertaken in New York City since Rockefeller Center, which was in the 1930s, so it's been a little while. Absolutely massive development. A lot of the interest in this area was really spurred on by the popularity of the High Line. The High Line, built over the old rail tracks, has become one of the most popular things to come and do in New York City since it opened in 2009. And that really caused just a massive resurgence in this area. A lot of construction, a lot of development, including the Hudson Yards. So they've been building this area for about 10 years now, and it's not done. There is actually still a little bit to be built, including some more residential buildings as well as a school. And those haven't even been started yet. There's an outdoor soul cycle class going on. I'll show you some of the buildings here. So the building straight ahead is 20 Hudson Yards. Actually, you take a quick look inside. I just want to be able to show you a tiny bit of it. This is shopping, primarily. Very, very upscale shopping. So we'll take a quick look just in the lobby here. The other thing I want to show you, if you go into 20 Hudson Yards, and you go right to the right, straight ahead, you can see a sign that says Little Spain, and then an escalator going downstairs. There is a large Spanish food hall on the lower level here, and it's really good, and it's a fun experience. So if you do come down here and you're looking for something to eat, I do highly actually recommend going down there. So maybe you already are figuring out by looking at some of these shops. This is not inexpensive shopping. This is not the place to go for bargains, but it is a nice place, especially if you're here in the summertime, to get out of the heat a little bit. It's nice and cool in here, a little quieter. So even if you're not going to get anything, you can certainly come and look around a little bit. There's a list of some stores. Okay, and we will head back outside. So one of the other major attractions at the Hudson Yards is what's called the Edge. So this is at 30 Hudson Yards, and it's an observation deck. So I think we're actually coming up right on where the exit is. So here is the exit for the Edge. You can enter here as well, sorry. So this is where you go in for the Edge. The Edge is up on this building, 100 floors up. So it is the 4th tallest building in New York City, I believe, and 100 floors up. That certainly puts you close to as high as you would be for something like the Empire State Building. What is really unique, I know we are not exactly short on observation deck options here in New York City. We have One World Observatory, we have the Empire State Building, we have Top of the Rocket, now we have the Edge. I guess the reason to consider checking this out, yet another observation deck. This one juts out from the side of the building. It's completely open air and it has a glass bottom. So it'll be a really, really different feeling, I think, than being at any of the other observation decks. I can safely say I've done all the other ones. They certainly don't have anything like that. So I do think it'll be worth checking out another one. I think it's a cool thing. And because of its location, I think you'll get amazing views of the river and the rest of the skyline. I'm gonna turn around here. So I can just show you another little look at the Hudson Yards here. Sorry about the sirens. Another look at the vessel. So one of the things I forgot to show you, we'll actually walk back so I can show you now, is ticketing for these things. You can go online and do ticketing for the Edge, for the vessel, but you can actually also do it right here on site via these screens. We'll pop across the street so I can show you one. So you can go to these screens and there are QR codes that'll give you food and drink options, and we'll tell you when the farmers markets are going on as well. And last time I was here, you could actually get your vessel tickets that way as well. If you hadn't done it in advance, you were able to do it that way. I'm going to take a quick peek inside the entrance of the Edge just so you can see it. So this is where you'll go in if you decide to do that. And you can get your tickets at those screens right up here. So you can do it, I'm sure, online in advance, but you can certainly do it right when you get here. Okay. So I guess my point being, don't ignore all the screens around in the Hudson Yards, because that's often how you do things. Let's look at some of the other buildings as well. And like I said, clearly you can see some construction still happening and more to come. So this will continue changing, I think, for a little while. We do still have more that has been planned for the Hudson Yards, but there is certainly already enough here for you to come and visit. Definitely come check out the vessel, check out the edge, maybe go grab something to eat, do a little shopping. Definitely check out the Sheds calendar, see what might be going on there as well. So I think it would be very, very cool to see something in that venue. And there's some nice little park spaces as well. It's definitely not as quiet over here because of all of the construction, but there are some nice little green spots, some fun sculptures. This is my favorite one. You can come and sit here in the gorilla's hand and take a picture. And the other really fantastic thing, and this is a bit more recent, when they first started planning all of this development, there was no subway station even kind of close to here. You would have had to walk several avenues over in order to make it to a subway. So they have definitely improved the linkages over here. And now you can hop on a subway right here at the Hudson Yards. What they've done is extended the 7 train so that it runs over here. So you can take the 7 from here back across. It will stop at Times Square, it will stop at Bryant Park, it will stop at Grand Central, and we take you all the way out to Queens, out to the Mets baseball stadium. So definitely an improvement and makes it very, very easy for you to come and make a visit here at the Hudson Yards. So we will finish up here, right by the 7 train. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you can join us on some of our other walks and join us for walks in cities all over the world, not just New York. And as you start to plan your trips to come to New York City, I hope you'll keep us in mind. We have a lot of different tour options. We have self-guided tours, we have audio tours, we have private tours, group pay what you wish walking tours. We hope that we see you really soon. Thanks.